Hello everyone, this video is to explain more about the grandiose narcissist, the textbook narcissist, the one you hear more about, the obvious narcissist. These kinds of narcissists, the ones that lean more towards the grandiose personality type of narcissist, often, although their narcissism is obvious, we miss it. We mistake things like their achievements and their arrogance as confidence. We can almost look up to these kinds of people and respect these kinds of people as they're not humble about anything that they do. The cerebral narcissist and the somatic narcissist, where you've got people that are intelligent, that have a high IQ, that know the information on the subject matter that they are talking about, that know all the big powerful words on the subject they are talking about, and things like that. They will be humble within their abilities, and they will also understand that there's different areas that they don't understand as such, things that they haven't learned. And because we do learn from ourselves, our own experiences, but we also learn from other people, when you've got that grandiose cerebral narcissist, when you've got that person with a high IQ, in your face, claiming to know everything, we can in one way look up and respect that person. And because we do look up and respect that person then sees this as their superiority. They don't see it as they just know something and help teach somebody else something. They see it that they are more intelligent than you, that they are superior to you, that they are better than you. Not that you're different, and everybody's got their own qualities, their own uniqueness, and everyone's good at what they are good at. With a narcissist, they believe that they are unique and everyone else is inferior. And with the somatic narcissist, they may be good looking, they may go and work out at the gym and have the bodies, they might naturally have the physique, but they class this as being better than other people. They don't see the beauty within somebody's personality. They judge people based on looks and compare people based on looks. But if they are envious of somebody else's looks, the grandiose narcissist will play that down in the other person. They'll find a way to devalue that other person. So things like, they only look like that because they had plastic surgery. They only look like that because their parents, their DNA. They'll find some reason to excuse the envy and in some way criticise that other person for living their life, while boosting their own ego, while being arrogant about the way they look. And that arrogance is often mistaken as confidence. We can look to that and think, wow, they're a confident person. They're happy completely and wholly with themselves. And often the confident people are the ones that are humble about their abilities, that are humble about their achievements, that are humble about their lives and what they've created for themselves. Whereas an arrogant person, the grandiose narcissist, will be all, look at me, look at what I've achieved. And they will be exaggerating all the things that they have achieved within their life to pull people in, to get that attention. And they believe that they deserve special treatment. They believe that they are above other people. So things like, if they've not got any money on them, they can be multimillionaires with all the money in the world, but if they wake up and they've not got any money on them, they'll take your last bit of money if they need the money, or even if they don't need the money, just to play with you. They will take your last bit of money and off to work they will go with it. Now, you might have needed that money to go and buy some milk or something important for the home, so you might message them and ask, where's this money? And instead of denying it or gaslighting it away, they will just arrogantly say, yeah, I needed it for my coffee. They will just tell you outright why they needed it. And when you explain, oh, I needed to get this and I haven't got any money, even though they have money, they will just turn around and say, oh, don't worry about it, I'll get some on the way home. So you don't worry about it because they've just said they'll get some on the way home. It doesn't matter that they've just taken your money without even asking. They just think they're entitled to take your money. When realistically, just because you've got a car and your neighbour's car breaks down and needs a car for work, they're not entitled to just get your car keys, get in your car and drive themselves to work. Just because you're in a relationship with someone doesn't mean they're entitled to do stuff. You can still have that asking. You can still have that. They might leave their bank card and take the money and leave you a note. For something like that, there'd be that mutual respect there somewhere. But a grandiose narcissist will top it off and come home without the milk and then blame you. Well, you've been at home all day. What have you been doing? Why didn't you go and get it? Even though you've already explained why. But within that, they put that fear into you that you daren't ask in future, so they can control you. They can do as they please while you daren't speak up to them. You walk on eggshells. You're the one that's going to get the blame. You're the one that thinks, well, we're in a relationship, so really I should let them do this. And with the grandiose, they rarely show the outside world that double side, that other side to them. They rarely show that envious face to other people, that entitlement face to other people. They put on that grandiose face to other people to pull people in, to charm. They are very charming. And that's often how the grandiose rules people. Hope. Now, you can have a relatively short idolization, love bombing stage with the grandiose narcissist because they usually have the power and the charm and the cunning ability and the lies to pull people in. So it's usually quite a short love bombing phase, but it's intense and it gives you that hope when they are devaluing you, when they are putting you down. It gives you that false hope of who they said they would be, even though it's not who they are. So we forever live in that hope of getting that stage back. And now and again, they will offer that stage if they want to exploit us for something, just to keep us confused. They will go through the future faking. And as the grandiose, not always, but often has the finances to back it up, they will go through the future faking of jetting you off on holiday somewhere special, or giving you the credit card for one day to go and spend, for then the next month take your last bit of money and not leave you with any money and not allow you to use their money. So they've got that double standards and they've got that arrogance to pull it off and get away with it without you realizing fully what's happening. And you can get into a situation with these kinds of people where, because you fear their reactions, if you've got money, you can then hide that money from them, knowing it's wrong because it's your partner and you want to help them out, or your parent or your sibling, so you want to help them out. But because you know their behaviour, because then you know how they will react, you can then become on the defensive. You can then hide the money from them to make sure they don't do stuff like that, to avoid the argument, to protect yourself, to protect the family. But you will feel guilt, which is another way they rule. They will put that guilt into you. They will guilt trip you into conforming to how they want you to behave. And with that guilt, it will be the things of, do you not remember when I took you on that holiday? Do you not remember, if they're not full of cash, do you not remember when I washed your car? I didn't go to this place because I put you first, because you needed me at that time. They will guilt trip you into believing that you are at fault and they are right, and that you are expecting too much of them. And in one way, we do need to lower our expectations of narcissistic people because they don't think the same way that we do. We have to lower our expectations of them. We have to understand their capabilities, and we have to understand that they're not capable of understanding us on that level. They're not capable of that give and take. They're not capable of caring on the same level we are, so that we lose that anger and resentment towards them, so that we leave them to go and get on with their lives while we move on and get on with our lives. Grandiose also rule through fear. Now, all narcissists, they can cross over, they can all rule through these things. Coverts, vulnerable, are a bit more subtle. Grandiose, overts will use subtle, but they will also use the obvious threat. So it'll be things like, you will never see your children again. You'll not get your inheritance. Bosses will use threats of, I'll make sure you never work in this area ever again, to exploit you, to put that fear into you, to do as they say and not as you are rightfully allowed to do. You are rightfully allowed to live your life how you want it, with good intentions. There is no wrong way or right way to live your life. There is only your way. Their intentions aren't good. Their intentions are to exploit you to meet a need of their own. So they have that grandiosity. They have that sense of superiority, that they are better than others, and that they expect special attention, and that they are entitled to that special attention. And they're often very oblivious to how they achieve this and how they affect those around them. The grandiose often knows how to manipulate people, but they're oblivious to the impact that it has on those around them. So, for example, if you burn yourself on an oven and you go to the hospital to get treated, the doctor or nurse will know that you're in pain. They will treat that pain as well as the burn. They will be caring, they will be empathetic, they will treat the whole situation to get you better, to get you on the mend. A grandiose narcissist will be, well, you shouldn't have burnt yourself, it's all your fault. And they'll just not care. They'll not care about helping you solve the issue. They'll not care about the pain you're in, even if they're the ones that put your hand on the stove. They don't care about things like that. They just pass it off as being your fault. They are often extroverted. They can be big risk takers, but when that risk falls through, they will blame those around them. They can be exaggerated in the things that they've achieved in life, the things that they have in life. They can be very over the top. They can be very in your face. They can be very, look at me, look at the big I am. They're very impulsive. They often don't think about the consequences to their actions. They often just blame any consequences on other people. They just blame shift it away. It will not be their fault. It will always be somebody else's fault. Like all narcissists, they will find a way to project it, blame shift it, and escape accountability and escape those consequences. They are extremely manipulative, because if they know there's consequences, they can change how they appear, how they approach something in that moment. The grandiose, because they are arrogant, because they come across as confident, they come across as very charming. So they are very good at seducing people because they are so charming, because they do come across as so confident. They are very good at idolizing people. They are very skilled at that love bombing stage, because people do respect them, and they know that people respect them, even though we don't realize we respect them for the wrong reasons, which is why often when you're around them, you can just have that like icky feeling that you just feel off around them, but you don't know why, because everyone else loves them. They can put fear into people. So if it's a boss and you've broke a laptop mistakenly, everyone in the office can actually be panicking about going to this boss and explaining what's happened to this laptop because of the rage, the reaction they might get. And the grandiose narcissist might rage and react, or sometimes they'll be like, well, why would anyone think I would act like that? And they can be really nice and really calm and really helpful about it. But the people in the office daren't speak up to each other, because that person looks like they really admire them, and that person looks like so no one dares speak up against them, but everyone lives in that fear around them without quite realising why. They just see them as a powerful person that's achieved something, and they don't see them as the person they truly are, that's hurting people, manipulating people, using people, and using people as stepping stones to meet their own need, not caring about those that they hurt along the way. Which is why they're very good at intimidating people, at criticising people, at putting that fear into people, at invalidating people, to devalue people, to put people in what the narcissist believes is their place, so that the narcissist can feel the almighty and all powerful. And because people do fawn to their behaviour, this only helps the narcissist's grandiose, exaggerated opinion of themselves and the belief that they are powerful, the belief that they are special. That dominance, they gain that control over people. And because they can see that they can control people, that helps their sense of superiority. They can often be over excitable. They can often that really in your face. And those people who are humble, those people who are kind, those people that are calm, that see this really happy on the outside, in your face, look at me, look at all my achievements, it can come across as charming. It can come across as the, wow, look at them, look at everything they've achieved in their life. And you don't see the background story to who that person actually is. You just see the front, the face, the facade that they put onto the world around them. They can also be very prone to boredom. Now, you can have high achievers that are not on the spectrum, that are prone to boredom, just because they are high achievers. If they are not exploiting other people, if they are not exaggerating all their achievements, if they have the empathy to care for others, if they are not envious of others, they're just people that get bored, or people that get excited. So you're looking for those traits running in the background of the personality, as well as who they sell themselves to be. Do their stories match up to things that they have actually achieved, or are they all exaggerated? They, like all narcissists, will deny some more. If they get cut out, they will deny it will be someone else's fault. They will also deny all weaknesses. They're not usually the ones to... They will play victim if it meets a need. They will play victim, but they're not usually the ones to play the victim. They'll just in your face outright deny any weakness. They'll not feel the need too much to go on the silent treatments or the sulks, although they can. They will just instantly put you down. Where that anger, that rage might come in, they'll just instantly try and bring you down a peg or two to try and lift themselves up. Yet at the same time, they will exaggerate. They will exaggerate all their strengths, because we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. Where people can recognise their weaknesses and recognise their insecurities and recognise the mistakes that they make, and can often doubt their strengths due to a narcissist gaslighting. A narcissist, the grandiose narcissist especially, is oblivious to any weaknesses. They're oblivious to any mistakes they make. That's always someone else's fault. Yet they will exaggerate anything that they have achieved, or they will take credit for other people's achievements to make themselves feel better. And as they focus on these more and more, these are the things they believe, genuinely believe about themselves, which is why they are so convincing at telling other people, because they believe the stories that they sell others are the stories that over a prolonged period of time they have sold to themselves. So they will control others by invalidating others, by criticising others, by belittling others, by using people's weaknesses against them, by using the things that people care for the most against them, because these are the things that people will most passionately defend. Their beliefs, the people they care about, they will most passionately defend. They will do things that they wouldn't normally do to protect someone they love and care about. Whereas a narcissist will do something to hurt someone they love. Can't really say whether they love or care. A narcissist will do something to someone they claim to love and care about to meet their own achievement, with no regard to whether it hurts that person. oblivious to how it impacts that person, so long as the grandiose narcissist achieves their aim. They will also take credit for other people's work. So when you've got the grandiose parent and the child is achieving something the grandiose parent wants to achieve, the grandiose parent will be there at any sporting event in the face. It's my DNA. It's because I spent hours doing this with them. It's because I was on the field practicing with them daily to get them where they are. It's because of, and it will be down to the narcissist, not the actual child. The child's achievements will be diminished in that child as the narcissist raises themselves up. Yet as soon as the child doesn't achieve, the narcissist will then make that child feel extremely bad. Because the child often looks up to the parent, that makes the child work harder, just like in a relationship, to please the narcissist, who will then take credit for what the child achieves. They will talk about themselves an awful lot because they are charming, because they are arrogant, because they might have some achievements under their belt that they will exaggerate. Even things they don't know about, they will talk about a lot. And if you question them on something because you think, oh, this isn't quite making sense, they will make something up to tell you. They will not sit there and say, sorry, that I don't know any more on that. I only know that bit of information. Or you can have people that have forgetful moments. So you can have, I'm sorry, that information has just completely fallen out of my brain. I've forgotten it, or I don't know it, where people will be honest and say, that's all I've learned so far. Because that is life. We learn along the way. A grandiose narcissist will make stuff up. And people can believe in one thing and tell people one thing, and then 3 years down the line with more life experience, that they can change that belief, and they can think, oh, maybe I was a bit wrong on that. And they will come out and say, yes, I used to believe that to be factual. I used to believe that to be true. But as I've learned more, I'm swaying more towards this idea. So fair enough, they might have been right in that moment in time because that's what they believe. But later down the line, they might think, oh no, now I've learnt more, now I've realised more, that's not actually what I thought it was. Whereas a narcissist will hold on to that truth no matter what. Even if they've contradicted themselves years later, they will turn around and say, I never said that, I never did that. And you can show them facts and evidence. And with most narcissists with facts and evidence will wipe it away and claim that someone else has made it up or it's not from them. But a grandiose narcissist will be over the top in the fact that it is nothing to do with them. So if you do confront them, they will either explain themselves away with more exaggerated lies, or they can go into the anger to get you to fear them, to conform to their demands. So there's a few signs that you might be dealing with a grandiose narcissist. Any signs you have of a grandiose narcissist, please add that into the description for other people looking through the comments. I'll add the video in the description for overcoming self-doubt, because all narcissists plant those seeds of self-doubt within us, and we can all have self-doubt anyway, because fear in life, fear of embarrassing ourselves, fear of failure, fear can hold a lot of us back. Without a narcissist putting that fear and self-doubt in us to sink us even more, we have to step over that fear safely within our lives. When it comes to walking away from a narcissist, we have to safely remove ourselves from the situation and step over that fear to move on with our life. But other things like starting that university course, starting that college course, starting to make friends, going to the gym after you haven't been for so long, that fear of stepping in, that fear of not being able to use the equipment right, the fear of looking silly in front of others, because a narcissist will have sunk you so low. Sometimes the way we talk to ourselves can hold us back. So I'll have the video in the description on overcoming our own self-doubts and stepping over those fears to just go for it, because most people have those similar sorts of fears running in the background, and it's a life choice between living and moving through those fears and making mistakes along the way, and knowing that some days are hard, some days are painful, but then there comes another day and it can run quite smoothly, and it can run quite... Life has those ups and downs. With a narcissist, life has that roller coaster of ups and downs, and it's not fun. But life without narcissistic people, generally, it has those little waves that we just have to work through and move through to find our happiness. I hope everyone has an amazing day. I hope today's one of those get up and go days where you can achieve, and not one of those days where your get up and go has got up and gone, because we all have them. Well, I say all, most people have them. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you all have a brilliant day. Bye.